Hey everybody, we're here today with Charles Keefe at a protest in Franklin County. And I asked Charles to do some speaking today. He's one of my people I admire. So Charles, why don't you share a little bit today with our folks?
Drove down here to Columbus today from Canton, Ohio. I was in Columbia, South Carolina this past weekend protesting death penalty executions. I'm here speaking on wrongful convictions. Wrongful convictions, it hurt my family, it hurt myself, it's hurting our system, it's hurting our city. There's so many people that I'm running into that's hurt, that's been affected on wrongful convictions. We're not lawyers out here, so we're already at a serious disadvantage. And then trying to learn how to understand the law puts you at another disadvantage. If you are going to have the opportunity to know that much about the law, you might as well go to law school. So that way every citizen has to be a lawyer. As they tell you, ignorance is no excuse for the law. But when you try to go get yourself a lawyer, you find out you can't afford one. So the minute you can't afford one, you again become a victim. You become a victim, your family, your financial victims. You can't afford the very law that's supposed to protect you. And when we come to these rallies, we hear people talking about their loved ones, bringing people in that have been incarcerated. What can we do? You have so many people saying, what can we do? That's why we know that there's not a lot we can do. If we can't get our elected officials to stand with us as citizens, and I'm not saying standing against the law, I'm saying stand up for it. Make sure that the law is fair. Make sure when you go to court, it is fair. Make sure when you can get a conviction, it is the right thing. And if it is wrong, justice must be done. And we're not saying a quick overturn something, but if it goes through our legal system as it should, and it should be overturned, then it should be overturned. It shouldn't be held back because a guy feels personal that we're messing up his count, we're messing up his case. It's not his case. This is not personal. These people's lives are not personal. This is our legal system. And our legal system is here to keep order and maintain order, not to have people stand on the corner crying and not able to sleep at night, don't know what to tell their children because we're afraid of the police officers, or you're afraid to go to court when they tell you it's your day in court. Does that mean I'm convicted before I get there? It's just so much going on. I've run into people everywhere. Now I'm going out of state, I'm hearing the same things. So, I'm not going to say we have to come together as citizens, but I am going to tell you we're going to have to come together in understanding our law, and then we're going to have to come a little closer together in understanding who it is that we elect, who we put in positions to lead us in the law. You can't put a guy in position, then it turns out he's your enemy and he's totally against you. So sometimes we got to check these candidates. We got to go to church and see what some of their religious beliefs are. We have people out here that we're complaining about wrongful convictions, death penalty, executions, and yet these people are still sitting in churches. They're still sitting there praying. Sometimes, we got to do some character checking. We got to go to those pastors and we got to ask them, you comfortable with this executioner sitting in here? You're comfortable with this liar who's putting people in prison, messing their lives up? You're comfortable with that, pastor? The churches, you're comfortable with that? So let's come together and let's try to do something to bring our country back to some type of order. Let's respect our police, but we want our police to also respect and protect us. Let's go to court and have our day to court. If you're guilty, you're going to go to jail. But just picking up people to make victims out of them, that's a heck of a criminal justice system.
So one thing you're saying is to know who you're liking, study what they believe in.
Well, you're like this. Well, I don't like that guy, then I'm just going to vote for the other guy. But you don't know anything about that other guy. You just know you don't like that guy. What if you don't like them both?
You just don't vote for
No, you have to vote. You go for the lesser of the two evils. He's got to be saying something that's going to touch your life. Something. And if not in the beginning, it's going to be somewhere in the end. There's somewhere that you have to come to an agreement, an acceptance. And that's how our society works. Everything is not going to be perfect for you, but that's why there's limited terms. And sometimes there's nothing else you can do but tolerate it until his term is up.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Charles will be one of our speakers on August 21st at a wrongful conviction conference. So come out and listen to that. We'll be at the Church for All People here in Columbus.
I don't enjoy doing this, but I know it's very, very necessary. And I call myself the minister of justice, and that's only because I'm trying to bring awareness to those people that are not aware of what's happening to other people out here.
Right.
Let's become aware. Let's pay attention to what's happening to our neighbor, and not be the person that's doing something to our neighbor.
Right, and Charles has been one of my advisors for several years. He's great at what he's doing. He knows how to connect people and the right people, and he's done a lot of positive things. And now who are you working with now?
Right now, I'm working with Death Penalty Action. My boss is Abe Bonowitz. Again, like I said, we were down in South Carolina. They just brought back the death penalty. They're using the electric chair and firing squad, and that's a heck of a thing for a governor or any law to impose upon its citizens. These are South Carolinians, and you're going to tell me that that's how they're going to handle, their criminal, their what they call worst of the worst.
So you could pick how you're murdered, basically.
Exactly. We're going to murder you for murdering someone else.
So you tell them they can't kill, but then the state can go around kill you, or the federal government.
Oh yeah, you got to realize a lot of these presidents and governors, they got a lot of notches in their belt.
Yeah, it's kind of sad though. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Well, it makes you think. Not only sleep at night, but attend church as if nothing even happened.
I used to support the death penalty until I got locked up.
Yeah. See, the church is very important, especially in my research. I realized that at one point in our lifetime, they were one. And then when I read it was talking about separation of church and state, then they were one body. So they understand one another if they had to be separated. So sometimes you have to go to the state of the church in order to deal with the state of the legal system.
Right.
Because this is where people are supposed to have morals and good hearts and all that kind of stuff. So, you got to kind of catch them on that Sunday when they have a heart. Because a lot of times Monday through Friday, they don't. They're employees.
Right. And the thing is, both where Charles works for us and some of the private groups also need support, financial support. But, you can't work without it. Can't get nothing done.
The average person that you pass has been a convicted felon. They've been to prison, wrongfully or not wrongfully. They've been wronged some kind of way. People don't have the courage to come out and speak out. They always feel they're going to be apprehended, or a lot of people have warrants. There's just so many reasons to keep people away from bringing out that voice. So we have these rallies, and we're hoping that people will come by and say, hey, let me tell you what happened to me. Let me tell you what happened to my loved one. We need these stories. We're not attacking our criminal justice system. We're not attacking that. We're not trying to dismantle it. We're trying to bring you aware of what they're doing. And some of these people, they're not all bad, but the ones that are, you need to take a look at these people. We're not out here just for the fun of it. There's a lot of tears, there's a lot of pain in what we're doing. Crying on the inside of the prisons and crying on the outside of the prisons.
And you brought up a good thing that we're getting older too, so we need the young people from the colleges, churches.
Yeah.
And we're talking about people that can vote.
Exactly. We need the college students to come out. You're our future. You're the future judges, the prosecutors, attorney generals, senators. That's you guys. You have a chance to clean up the mess that other people have made. And believe me, it is a mess. I wouldn't be traveling all around and with a t-shirt on and saying innocent for life. I didn't choose this life. It chose me. So, the things that I've learned, and I tell a lot of people, it's funny, so many things you don't get a chance to learn in the classroom. But I didn't learn at Ohio State. I learned by the state of Ohio. I was definitely educated.
Charles has come to every one of our protests in the last 2 years. And he drives, I think it's 2.5 hours from Akron, something like that.
Because it's important to support other people. And I told him, if nobody's there, it doesn't matter to me. I'll be there.
Right. And we as an organization needs to also attend some of the other protests around that is doing similar work or positive stuff.
If you're waiting for other people to solve your problem, to get your loved one out, and you're not willing to participate, it's not going to happen. There's so much information that you have. There's so much information so many things. You're going to have to come out. You're going to have to participate. It's going to be painful, but, at least you're there, and people can put a face and all that stuff. I mean, you have to participate. You have to be there.
I think, I think Charles is correct. We need to start connecting with people, and I think in the future we're going to start calling people and reminding them about the protest. And try to get a commitment. We do have a meet and greet at my house on the 26th of this month from 12 till 5, and we'd like to meet you, and feed you at the same time. So Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, we're getting back to that American flag. It's funny how much controversy it's caused over the past few years, but it does mean life, liberty, and justice for all. And I just found that kind of funny.
But they leave some people out, though.
That's because they don't understand what the word "all" means.
And when we talk about equality, that would include those who was in prison.
That's right.
Those, no matter what their crime was.
That's right.
It's not just black and white.
Equality is the same thing you would want for yourself and your loved one. That's my version of equality.
And I'm finding out it's not just the Republicans that don't really support it. A lot of the Democrats don't. They will judge somebody.
And that right there, I don't get caught up in Democrat or Republican. I get caught up in Americans.
Right.
Because regardless who's in charge, it still affects me. And you're Republican American, Democrat American, American American, it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, the bird has two wings. So I don't get caught up in that. But I do see you as an American, and I hope it's a loyal American.
That's very commendable. And everybody, we do appreciate your support. And we hope to meet with more of you in the future and start connecting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.